What's going on, guys? Bama'S Outdoors back with you again today, and we are at the lake. Jonah and I have got the kayaks out here. It's probably about 4:30. It's been a scorcher all day, so we're hoping now that it's starting to get later on in the afternoon, between now and probably 8:30, somewhere there, hopefully the fish will start getting active. I came over here the other day and I was doing some wacky rig fishing, but I went and picked up these other hooks because Gamakatsu, Wicked Wacky. I was using some Gamakatsu weedless, smaller hooks than this, and I ran out of those. I would prefer to have some trapper tackle hooks. If I could pick any kind of hook in the world, I'd rather have right now would be trapper tackle, but because I don't have any, I picked these up. 3 to a pack. They look pretty good. They look pretty big too, and I think they got a little weight up here on top of them, which should be good. But we were doing really good yesterday. I only had a handful of these worms left, and they were crushing these worms. And these are watermelon. But here's the kicker. Got that fire chartreuse tail on the end. And yesterday, that chartreuse tail was all the difference between catching a fish and not catching a fish. I could have thrown the straight watermelon and got a strike every now and then, but as soon as I casted the one out with the fire chartreuse on the end, bam, they crushed it. So we got the new Gamakatsu hooks. Got a couple packs of these Wackies with the chartreuse tail, watermelon chartreuse tail. And we're about to head out. There's our kayaks down there. And yeah. Hey, before we get started though, guys, reach up there and hit that subscribe button and that thumbs up button. We'd be very grateful. And hopefully we can catch some fish. I mean, it's been a scorcher. It's been about like 97 degrees today. So they probably want a slow presentation. We're going to give them one. Thanks for watching, guys. Let's go fishing. All right, guys, I found me a little shade. It is still blazing out here, but I wanted to show you kind of how this is that Gamakatsu hook I was talking about. Super Wacky, whatever it's called. Weedless. And I've got a O-ring here. I tell you what, if I was to give you guys a tip, I got 2 tips when it comes to wacky rig fishing that I think that will make a big difference in the amount of fish you catch. Number 1, as you can tell, this hook right here is bronze. They make a lot of wacky rig hooks that are kind of like chrome. They're really shiny, and I'm not a big fan of them, even though I have caught fish off of them. I think you do much better when you have these darker colored hooks, because you don't get that much of a reflection back out into the water when the sun's beaming down. You don't get that glare, the fish, and sometimes that'll spook the fish. So this dark bronze color is really a really subtle approach. You don't spook them that much. The O-ring, I'm sure probably 90% of you guys who have ever fished a wacky rig watching this video probably use O-rings. But if you do not do that, I highly recommend using O-rings, because the amount of fish you can catch off of one worm is like from one. If I don't have a O-ring, seriously, after I catch one fish on my worm, that worm is freaking toast. About the only thing I can do with that worm is to save the back end of it to maybe use as a trailer on a jig or on a spinnerbait. If you use an O-ring, I've caught 5 fish off of one worm using the O-ring. But like I said, I don't think I've ever caught more than 1 fish, maybe 2 at the most, not using an O-ring. Usually when you catch that first fish, it's absolutely destroyed. So please invest yourself in some of these O-rings. You'll be happy you did. It'll save you a lot of money on your worms in the future. And especially these bronze colored hooks, they don't have that much of a reflection in the water. So those are 2 of my biggest tips of this video. And now I'm going to try to catch some fish. Just trying to let this sun go down a little more. Still blazing, but I think we'll catch a few for sure. Got a little one, guys. Wacky rig. Popped him right in the top of the head. Nice little fish. One more final tip, guys. Highly, highly, highly recommend fluorocarbon line. I've caught a lot of bass off of using braid with like a 6 or 7 foot fluorocarbon leader. But if you can, I always just go with straight fluorocarbon. Never use anything over 8-pound test. I've never found a situation where it would be necessary to use any more than 8-pound test. I have caught them off of monofilament as well, but the majority of my fish always come on fluorocarbon line because it's crystal clear and it doesn't spook the fish as much as monofilament or other lines. So those are 3 tips. I think they're absolutely crucial tips for every person fishing a Wacky rig, and I promise you, if you follow those 3 tips, starting with the hook you use, preferably a weedless. I've caught them off of weedless, but I prefer a weedless myself. And a hook that's not very shiny. Get one that is the bronze color or black, and to me that really makes a big difference. And in the fluorocarbon line, the most important thing when it comes to finesse fishing for big bass in the summer months when it gets really hot and they start getting inactive. So hope you guys appreciate this video. Hope you guys got something out of this video. And please feel free to leave a comment below. We'll be very grateful. And as always, guys, God bless. Happy fishing. And we'll see you again next time with some hiking trips, some more fishing trips, and more tips. Thanks, guys.